Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Ted, hanging out with some of the colleagues today.
Dave.
Nate.
And today we got a GM 911 from Nuno Pinto. And here's the deal. He's a GM that incorporates backstory into integrated plots, so that every once in a while the party's going to wind up going on a quest that's going to reward specifically one player because it's linked to their backstory. Problem is, he's got a character that's playing a bard who has done zero backstory, and while the player isn't really offering any kind of complaints about them not getting any kind of rewards, he feels that he's neglecting that player and not providing what he's doing for all of the other characters, and wants to know what to do.
Got like 3 thoughts on this one.
Probably going to share most of them, but let's see what you got.
F them. If they didn't put the work in. 2, they're not worried about it, so why should you? 3, make something up and throw it in there and say it's from their backstory. You know, if they haven't provided it, they probably don't care if you start supplying stuff. And really, it seems like this is your problem as the GM, not theirs, because they don't seem to be all that worried about it. And if they're having fun, it doesn't matter.
Well, I agree. I agree with points. 1 and 3. Either move on and wait until the player approaches you about it and say, hey, why am I not getting stuff? You can say, well, do you see this part here about this backstory that's a blank sheet of paper? I got nothing to work with. Or, as Dave says, option 3, which is probably where I would go, I would just start making stuff up. And if they complain, like, well, this doesn't fit what I have in mind, you just say, well, you didn't provide anything to me, so I had to just do this because I feel bad as a GM that I'm not able to provide you as a reward for...
Oh, I can focus on now. Did Ted flip my 2 and 3?
I don't know.
No, you said Ephraim was 1.
Yeah.
He skipped that one, I think.
And I skipped the,
His 2 and 3, your 2 and 3 became his 1 and 2, I think.
No, I said 1 and 3.
He said 1 and 3.
Oh, so you're with F, though. Okay.
I think my 3 was, though, fill in the blanks for them.
Yes,
Let's rewind this and go back.
3 was 3 was fill in the blanks. So you basically come up with a story and give them story arcs to work with.
And 2 is if they're not worried about it, you shouldn't worry about it.
Right. Well, I think F them and if they're not worried about it, why should you? Is kind of the same.
I don't know if you messed up or not. I just wanted to make Ted say F them.
So I'm going to go with a cavalier response like Dave and say, hey, push button, get bacon. If you're not going to push the freaking button, you're not going to get the damn bacon.
Nice.
Where's the bacon button?
Let's just end the video and go get breakfast.
Yes. I think while I was still doing breakfast.
See you guys.
Yeah, so that's my first thing is like if they really don't care to even do that little bit to get that player reward, which DM is perfectly fine with giving them a player reward, I'm thinking about I would ignore them until it bothers them, like not ignore that issue that I've developed as the DM until it bothers them. So if they're like, hey, it would be cool to have that cool sword like somebody else does, it's like, oh, thank God, he finally wants something. I can figure something out.
I think Nuno Pinto is just seeing bugbears where there aren't any.
No, I think I understand being concerned for the players and them having fun and being entertained, but there's got to be a little bit of something given from the player to work with. Otherwise, you got to develop something. Ask them questions. Pointed questions. Hey, do you want to be more effective in combat? Do you, as you're a fighter and you want a magic sword? Something simple like that, and then link it to it's like your ancestral family. Your uncle went on this quest and he died in a cavern complex someplace. It's supposed to be rumored to have undead living there now. And maybe it's a sword that life steals or does necrotic damage or, something. I mean, if his past history is dark in his family or something like that. Or maybe it's some kind of sun sword or something. Whatever, if that's going to be something he wants. Maybe instead they want an amulet that was lost when a ship overturned or something. So...
Probably not, since it's not in their backstory because it doesn't exist. But you bring up a good point though, and this solves most 95% of all GM 911s can be actually solved with this.
Players.
Just ask, be like, oh, this is what's going on. How do you feel about it? And a lot of times our perception of reality and reality are not the same thing. So like he's transferring, or he or she could be transferring their feelings and their impressions on this player that don't actually exist, and they're like, no, I'm just happy to show up and roll some dice and and sing some imaginary songs, and I'm good.
And if that's if that's all the player wants, then then you don't have to worry about the extra work. You don't have to worry about providing them with their own quests. Just let them tag along, and if they're happy with that, then you should be too.
And like we always say, take notes while you're GMing, right? If something comes up in the session that grabs their attention, you might go, oh, okay, make a note of that. Maybe that's something for them later.
Right.
And again, maybe they'll never care. Like there's a ton of different reasons why people play this game, and it's as a GM, it's not always my job to figure it out. As long as they seem to be enjoying themselves and they're having fun, whatever they want to provide is fine. Whatever they don't provide, I will fill in the blanks as I see fit, and hopefully they mash up. If not, I always try and talk to my players, get feedback, and see what they're thinking. And solve this problem by first of all, just have a conversation with that player. Hit them up on Facebook, call them on the phone, however you guys communicate. Go out to lunch, whatever whatever you're doing. Hey, I don't know how things are for all you guys, but I know all of us as friends and gamers, we when we're essentially what you see on Nerdarchy is kind of what we do all the time. Just like one day we had this brilliant idea of turning on a camera, and then we let you guys watch us, and then from there we escalate things and make it a little bit better. But for the most part, these Nerdarchy conversations are conversations we've been having for years.
Indeed.
So.
Yeah. So I think that covers it. If you guys have any other advice for Nuno Pinto, and you want to put it in the comments below, give him some other ideas of what he can do to assuage his guilt or get this player involved, put it in the comments below. While you're doing that, feel free to click like, share, even subscribe.
Hey, by the way, if you like what we're doing, we have a Patreon account where you can Patreonize us in a good way.
And you can also read the articles on nerdarchy.com.
So until next time, stay nerdy.